If you're like me and have ADHD with a touch of autisms, you have a doom pile. Or multiple. It might look something like this. So, why am I showing this to you? Well, if you have ADHD or autism, or a combination of both, you've got something like this too. And I'm going to let you in on a little secret. That's okay. Hi there, Kindred Spirits. My name is Kincaid, host of the Queer Stoic podcast and a one-man outfit of Kindred Studios. Welcome to the Fuck You Depression series, where I sort out my life and my living space as an autistic ADHD stoic. Doom piles are nothing to be ashamed of. They are how we process items in our space and keep them from being out of sight, out of mind. There's a way you can clean and not lose track of your stuff. Think it's been thrown away or lost to the dreaded gremlins. This is the largest doom pile in my home. There's a cooler hidden under there somewhere, which is where most of the height is coming from, really. I managed to muster enough dopamine high to get this project started, and once I got myself hyperfixated, it kind of took off from there. This may not work for everyone. Triggering a hyperfixation is a 50-50 shot, to be honest. It either works flawlessly and allows you to complete a complicated task with minimal, if any, hiccups. Otherwise, it causes executive dysfunction and task paralysis shutdown. This project was a combination of being absolutely sick of being cramped at my desk while trying to record the Queer Stoic podcast. Link in the description. And the doom pile being in the way of the microwave for not only myself, but for both my roommate and my girlfriend. I hate inconveniencing people other than myself. But I'm allowed to inconvenience myself because I deserve it, right? Just kidding. This is what it looks like now. This was a weekend project because, of course, distractions happened, life goes on, work, children, etc. Breaks were needed because, let's be real, no one with an abnormal brain can clean non-stop with no break. I doubt even neurotypicals can clean like that. By the way, if you got the reference, congrats, we should be friends. If you didn't get the reference, well, use your imagination on that one. There is a reason this is my first ever YouTube video. I am not ashamed of my brain. I may be ashamed slightly of the result of how my brain works, such as this doom pile, but it's important to share the reality of autistic ADHD brains and how they work, bringing the ugly side of it to the forefront and help others like me who struggle with this too. We shouldn't be ashamed of how our brains work. It boils down to psychology. Now, I'm not a psychologist, nor am I an expert in the field. I've just lived with autism ADHD for 31 years and have been unmedicated for it for most of that time. I use a combination of coping mechanisms and stoicism to help me deal with the aftermath of executive dysfunction and hyperfixation letdowns. It's a cycle much like the moon. Focus and motivation waxes and wanes throughout the day or week. Finding the most motivating time of day or days of the week for you is the key to taking advantage of the strengths autism and ADHD offers. And yes, these can be strengths, depending on how you look at them. Autism and ADHD have the potential to make you more creative, increase problem-solving abilities, as well as emotional maturity. Note I said emotional maturity, not general maturity, who wants to be an adult robot all the time anyway. Letting your inner child have the room is fun. So, the recording that I made of actually cleaning the doom pile that I mentioned, that it was imaged in the beginning of this video, being the first video I've ever put on YouTube, I made a mistake and accidentally corrupted all the files that I had filmed for 3 hours worth of work of actually clearing the doom pile, and I was unable to recover them. So the only footage I had left is the footage that you're seeing now and when I was doing the dishes. So this is the kitchen table that I'm looking at right now, and this is another doom pile, but much, much smaller than the one before. And I used a combination of those coping mechanisms that I mentioned before, and with Stoicism. Stoicism is a philosophy it's a Greco-Roman philosophy, basically, and it's based on a dichotomy of control. There are things inside your control, and there are things outside of your control. If you focus on the things that are in your control and all others are immaterial, then you're able to live a more fulfilling life because you're not focusing on things that you have no control over. The key virtues of Stoicism are wisdom, the ability to think rationally about a situation, understanding your feelings without letting them control you, courage, not just bravery, which comes in forms of stupidity. Rather, Stoic courage is fortifying yourself to stand and weather the storms of life. The third virtue is temperance, essentially moderation. Moderate your thoughts and actions and things within your control. All other things outside your control, let them be. The last one is justice, standing up for righteous actions as they are according to natural law, as things are supposed to be, such as living a virtuous life and caring about people and yourself. Now, I did take longer breaks. Some of the footage that I shot was at one of my favorite coffee shops, and that was also corrupted, unfortunately. But it's important to take a longer break towards the middle of a big project like this. It gives your mind time to process the cleaning as a way of organizing your mind as well as your space. Cleaning is a form of mental reorganization. Cleaning a space clears my head of intrusive thoughts and overwhelming dread. Dealing with a doom pile can be overwhelming and draining, so make sure to give yourself space to breathe after tackling even part of it. This doom pile of mine took multiple days to actually get cleaned and organized in a way that makes sense to my brain. Everyone is different, and how you choose to organize will look different from mine, and that's okay too. Personally, I use a method called follow the dopamine to get tasks done and see a project through to the ever-changing finish line my brain creates. My finish line, in most cases, is good enough. It takes effort to let this be my finish line, and I think a lot of us autistic ADHDers are the same in that respect. Even if your finish line isn't perfect, it's okay for it to be that way. Don't let others move your goalposts. Set your own goalposts, no matter how they look. If you manage to brush your teeth for the first time in weeks, great. That's a finish line. Did you actually bring yourself to fold a single blanket or towel after it came out of the dryer? Chalk it up to a win. Take the small victories as they happen instead of comparing yourselves to others who have it all figured out, quote unquote. Even as I sit here in my now clean office space, this took a lot of time, effort, literal sweat, metaphorical tears, and a certain level of grace with myself. Don't forget to give yourself the same grace when dealing with a difficult problem that takes more time for you to either work up to or see to completion, or rather the level of completion that looks good enough to you. This cleanup wasn't perfect, and that's okay. It is good enough for me for the moment. We actually have use of the kitchen table now. I have full use of my desk and my desk space. The microwave is now no longer blocked, and the kitchen is in a better state than it was before. I still need to sweep, mop, probably break out the steam mop that I haven't used in a long time to actually get all the gunk off the floor that's kind of stuck on there. And yeah, it sounds kind of gross, but you know what? That's okay, because this was a result of many months of a depressive spiral that I could just not shake for a while, and I finally gathered the motivation to be able to get through it. And that's okay too. So, in reality, this video, in the hopes of me actually posting it, is to show that it's going to be okay. For all my autistic ADHDers out there that find life as difficult as I do when it comes to motivation and trying to do things that we try to do our best at. It's going to be okay. And I hope this video has been a motivational moment in your life to show that just because life is difficult doesn't mean that you can't get better, and it doesn't mean that it's impossible to get where you want to be. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.